What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is episode 2 of season 2 of Conversations. This is a new podcast series that we're doing where we interview friends of ours, people that we know from our hometown of Miami who are entrepreneurial, are doing things with music, arts, entertainment, just about anything, people that are young and people that are hustling to make something of themselves. Today, I'm really excited to bring our good friend, Note MARCATO, to the Stop Lookin podcast
thank you for having me.
Basically just have a conversation with him. Everything we do on this season is 100% unscripted. So this is just a free-flowing conversation, just building thoughts upon thoughts and just taking it all the way.
So what's going on today, Mr. Note? Or actually, speaking of that, your real name is Nas.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you came up with your artist name, or
artist
how
name.
you would call it, persona, or how do you define your two names?
Right. First off, I just want to say thank you guys for having me on the show, of course, and letting me be a part of your process, and all the energy contributed to this is going to be great, and it's awesome that people get to see this perspective from young entrepreneurial people who have the diligence to do what they do. So that was just number one. But I got my I started making my name actually when I started writing my own anime. I write my own anime, and the main character's name is MARCATO. Mm-hmm. So when I was trying to find my artist name, because I was a producer before, I had many names before.
Okay.
Right. My last one was He Was a Madman. That's when I was producing, and I was working with Young Nudie I had one song on his tape. I don't think it got cleared though. But before that, I was a producer, and then I named myself MARCATO. But then I couldn't name myself MARCATO because it was trademarked by a boy band in South Africa. Oh. So I couldn't. It's nowhere close to me. Or they said it wasn't. It wasn't a go. So I had to choose MARCATO, and that was trademarked. And then my Instagram name was Note MARCATO because MARCATO actually means a note in the symphony, which is played more louder and aggressive than any other note in the symphony. That's eternal throughout the whole symphony. It's an accent mark because it stands out, and it's very distinctive.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I thought that would be a pretty clear description of what I'm trying to do with all my music. That's why I went with that and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like your name gives a very good precedent impression of what kind of music you're making and what kind of energy you're putting out there. Being Note MARCATO, being the strongest note out of a whole composition of music, you're really, giving your title a really deeper meaning and a deeper sense for your fans and for anybody who's discovering your music as a first impression. Would you say?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I definitely that's why it just added on to the cognitive thought of what I was trying to put together, because if you're passionate about something, I believe that you should be able to be passionate to the capacity of you knowing what it is to be unique and making sure that what you make is, people are going to come. It's called supply and demand. People are going to come because of your authenticity. Authenticity is the key to making your product unique. And really, when you're making your product, you should really go off of how you feel. Yes, numbers matter. Money matters. When it comes to stuff that you're trying to leave an impact and make a legacy on the world, all this stuff matter. All these things matter, but authenticity is the one that's distinctive throughout all those, and respect.
All right, so a lot of people could have money, a lot of people could have discipline, those are things that can be learned, but authenticity is something that you're basically, would you argue you're born with it, or you strive towards it, or how does one become authentic?
To make out here a better world as we know it, you have to make in here a better world as you know it first.
Okay.
Anything that you project and you better inside, you're able to project outside but you have to be able to do that inside first. It's a very much so reciprocated thing. So it's not, you could be authentic the day that you choose to be authentic. You can be authentic to everybody who thinks you do the norm until one day you just change. People don't believe things until you show them. So you could work on it inside, but they're gonna see it at some time. They're gonna see the change at some literal time. Like they're going to notice something's off, and just because you were able to do it and just change that part of you, that's authentic in itself. When you start going and, I'm an entertainer, so like I basically work in communications. Like, so when they see like I've changed just the fact that I sound different, they're already gonna be like, you're authentic. That has nothing to do with what I'm wearing, what I'm actually thinking, how I articulate myself, common manners with people that sometimes people forget.
Yeah, and it could be like you structure your process as an artist in an authentic way so that your product is always going to be something that's never been heard before, right? So like, for example, when we as a apparel brand and an entertainment brand try to come out with like clothing lines and release things that are, desirable, but yet aren't too complicated and aren't too hard to understand, you have to create for yourself a process for you to create that product. And I feel like it's the artist's job to figure out what's the best form for them to get there, because along the road to creation you can get detoured many times. I'm sure that when you're like producing a song, your ideas can start to go crazy, where to the point where you feel like you might be taking different directions in a necessarily not so good way. So it's like you're getting distracted because you are so creative and you have so many avenues to take. And I feel like that could be a huge distraction of its own. So like,
Are you saying that being able to discern between the different avenues and choose the right one and understanding which one's the right one is being authentic?
Yes, it's like sticking to your
own
beliefs, sticking to what you think is good, thinking to what you think is different, and sticking to what you think is you.
Right. So when that specific part of the process comes to me, like I am not a liker. Either I love it or we're not going with it. Like in my specific process, I make sure that I'm meticulous enough to know what's the absolute things that we love, rather than, I like it, which means like there's room for other stuff. Because if we're trying to forge love, we need to make sure that every key component is something that we actually feel that way about. Yeah, that's the authentic part about it, right?
It's like you need to feel that pure sense of emotion for you to be like fully engaged to it.
Like if the beat is not making me, it's not having me like this, as soon as it comes on, I'm not.
It's a scratch.
It's a scratch.
Yeah,
immediately.
It's just another one that you can just be like, it's all right.
Immediately, and it's not even. It's not. It's, I won't even say it's all right. It might be great, but it just might not be for me.
Yeah, true.
So like I'm like, I'm in the studio, I'm listening to beats, but if the producer has like their own sound and stuff, and I like some of their beats, like I'm just listening, you know what I mean, until I find something that actually gives me incentive,
like suitable for your,
gives me some passion, because passion is you can do whatever, like passion is one of the main components.
Like passion is a driver to success. Without passion, you naturally aren't going to push yourself to the extra step.
Yeah, but success within the self. You need success. Like there are people who have success out here, but people don't have success in here.
Yeah, I mean, when I refer to success, I meant inner success, like self-knowledge, like all recognized success. Success that isn't externally communicated to you, right? Like internally success, where you realize that you've done something.
So you could push forward and do what you need to do to get where you want to be. Right. Like it's very much so. You need to know what's perfect for you. You need to know certain disciplines you need to have so your creative process could become what you want it to become. So and I'm a big firm believer that your energy and what you have to contribute and how honest you are. And, you know, the easiest way to live life is honestly. But it's honestly going to come out like that, because anything you put into what you love, that's how it's going to come out and be received from other people. Like,
Right.
if I know I'm going to the studio and I know I love this song and I really just tell the beat that I love the song, then it'll be just, that's what's going to be conveyed. It's not...
It's like a direct reflection of,
Right.
of what the energy you're giving to the song is the energy that people are going to feel when they listen to it. Mm-hmm. It's like a mirror. You know?
Right, exactly. It's like Inception.
Yeah.
Right.
A little bit like that, yeah. So we wanted to cover a few topics that we thought were like really essential, let's say, to like any artist's life and development as like a person, as like music taste and just like cultural influences and stuff. So like I think the first topic that we wanted to get into was like,
Well, we just talked for 10 minutes about authenticity,
Yes.
which is the big thing right now. You know, in
Yeah,
Harvard
it is.
Business School, it is the big thing also.
In
To
Harvard,
be a great leader,
yeah.
you got to be authentic. You
In
gotta be an
Harvard
authentic
Business
leader.
School and music and movies, all of these things.
everything is just, you need to be original with it or else it's not gonna go.
And that's what's
not gonna
been
go
lacking.
far.
That's why, you know what, this whole quarantine time is like, you have the time to forge a plan.
Yeah.
And if you have the discipline to execute this plan, and if you plan feasibly, then if you have something to say when quarantine is done, like I'm an artist, so when everybody's able to get together and party again and go to concerts again, like if you're an artist and you have something to say, when that happens, you have the ability to make history.
Yeah.
You have the ability to become a legend. Like, it's ultimate legend making time as soon as this all up. Cause like,
Yeah, it's like, cooking time.
because people catch up to how music, like, yes, people love the music, a lot of music that's being released today, but they notice how it's more entertainers than artists out right now. People want to go back to appreciating artists.
Yeah.
Right.
When it was big
I
Tupac and Biggie, everybody wanted to appreciate Tupac and Biggie because they were
Right.
artists
Yeah.
of their and they were legends of their
There's a
time.
difference for sure
Yeah.
between artist and entertainer. Many would argue that, like, if you were to compare J. Cole to Lil Pump, just, to get an idea, people would obviously decipher them as, like, Lil Pump would be more of an entertainment act, and then Jay-Z would be, not Jay-Z, sorry. J. Cole would be more of a...
Well, Jay-Z's an entertainer and an artist.
No, I'm not talking about... I'm talking about J. Cole, for example. J. Cole would be more of
Yeah. We get it.
of an artist.
It's
So what he's saying is that
I
people
get
are
it.
wanting to, they're getting tired of all this entertainers and they want to go back to the more authentic. So it goes back to how he strives to create authenticity from the jump and not get, blinded by all the other avenues that an artist can take for the, for
Right.
instant gratification, for the
Right.
idea that, if I make my song sound like this guy's song who got it really far, then I'll blow up too. And like, it's like you completely turn the other way, you turn your head from that and you say, I'm gonna make what I think is
Yeah,
is what I
because
wanna make.
there's a difference between the people who do it because they love it and the people who do it because they love what happens after.
That's true.
And I've been blessed with the opportunity to see, both sides and know the greatness and the balance of these things. It's not all the success you're granted when you do something that's worthy of the people and what just people and they love it. So
Yeah.
not only is it that, but it's also has something to do with the balance of knowing the opposite side of that. Like, as an artist, people love you. People love you because of the persona in which you convey to the people, or people could hate you for it, but you know what? They don't know you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They're not close enough. They don't
Like, they don't know you on a personable level.
they're not close enough. And they, they don't want to be close enough. Like, they have their own problems. We're all people.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I don't know you, but I only heard of you, then like I still don't know you. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But because you could show me something completely different than everything that's ever been told to me in person.
Yeah.
We need to get more
Right.
personable, or else we don't know anything. We can't
Right.
speak on topics we don't know about.
True.
That's not how it works. So even with celebrities and artists and stuff like that, the only way that you could be honest with your fans is to really say how you feel, like, not about how you, I mean, you know, everybody feels different things, and more than other things. Like, I love, you know, just getting a fresh pair of white socks. Like, other people love going to the strip club every, you know, weekend. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's different interests and different common interests that and bring the people together or whatever. Right. But it's actually as clear as you're able to get point A to point B. That's our part as almost ambassadors of energy and
ambassadors
messages.
Of energy.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Because
I think that
the way I look at my trajectory and like what I want to achieve in my life and how I measure my success, I think I want to be an ambassador of energy. How you just said it. I've never thought of that, but I love it. I just want to do that. I want to make people feel good, make people feel something.
Make them feel something, because like, you could hear something, it doesn't make you feel something. You need to feel it. So like, when you want to do what you want to do, nothing is ever stopping you. There should be no just obstacle, like how you were feeling prior, because of how like you have to do it. Like, now I don't make music like all the time. Like, I don't require like before, when I was doing it like more and more and more and more, it was much so for practice. Now I could sit, I wait until I get hella inspired to the point to where nobody can stop me from making music at that moment. Like, that's it.
Like, you just feel this drive.
I just feel the current, and like it's pulling me in.
And you just gotta ride the wave out, right?
Right now, like, you have to be Poseidon. You gotta go to Atlantis with the wave. You know what I mean? Like, so nobody can stop you. Like, we're going in the Bermuda Triangle type shit.
The waves ending at the beach, so you carve out the island to make more water to continue.
Exactly, to continue the wave forever into the fucking heaven.
I watch a lot of interviews. I read a lot about fine artists. You know, very influential people who change the culture, people who change cultures in the past, you know, century and stuff. And a common theme I hear a lot is like, when you're an artist and you get that, you know what it feels like to get that push. It comes out of nowhere sometimes, you know, that burst of inspiration where you're like, it hits you and you're just like, holy shit, I need to get to my fucking computer. I need to get to my canvas. I need to get to my place and let this all out. And I'm not going to leave that place until I stop feeling it. Because it's not a feeling that you get often, in a way. It's not like you feel that every 30 minutes and you could be like, I could put it off. I could let it go. I could worry about it later. It's like that burst of inspiration is going to come to you in a point in time, and you need to squeeze that juice.
Right, you need to have that juice while it presents itself.
While it's there.
But my main message to artists, because sometimes you do know, like, what it is that creates that fuels spark. That. It might be drugs, it might be women, it might 100%. Be, you know, good food.
Might be seeing the sunrise in the morning.
Money, it might be anything like that. Like, whatever it is, sometimes you know your currency, and so you abuse it. You need to make sure you find the balance of
that's a good
knowing your currency,
and
knowing the tax in which it has, because everything
can be abused.
Every decision has, you know, the repercussions in whichever form, good or bad. Even if the decision was good or bad, there was just different repercussions. So you need to know how to balance it. That's what it's not an easy thing. It's easier said than done, even when I say it.
100%.
Yeah.
So like 100%. Like, I've heard also artists wanna, like you said, drugs and stuff. You know, I've heard that. Not like I'll just say Young Nudie, because I just heard this from his interviews. He's like, I can't rap unless I'm in the booth and I'm in my zone. Like, he's like, I don't write, I don't do this, I don't do that. I'll just consume, I don't know, he said, like, I'll smoke some weed or whatever, go in the booth, and it just comes to me. It's like, he can't force it onto himself. It's not like today I want to go make a hit, so I'm gonna go sit down and write to this beat. It's like he puts himself in the place that he knows that he needs.
But everyone's zone is what is the things that that pertains being in your zone.
Right.
So like that's everything we were just talking about. It was like if your friends around, you feel security. If you need.
So tell us a little bit about what you have coming up in the next few months in terms of music releases, music video releases, personal life, whatever you want to tell us.
Well, personally, we've been doing 50 push-ups a day, and that's been helping us a lot to do everything we needed to do.
That's good.
And I'm personally excited about the release of my first body of work, EP, Beachbum Limbo, 13 tracks of album music. It's an EP full of album music. That's how we're coming. And
Beachbum Limbo, you heard it here. Not first, but you heard it here.
Yeah, and we're shooting the video. We're shooting the video like in the next 2 weeks for the music and the just the content we need. We need that video, the visuals and stuff. And
hopefully by the time y'all are seeing this, that's out, and you guys could check that out. We'll link that up here.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be something special. Like, I actually, when I was in the studio, I recorded this album with the intent of saving the world. So the fact that
that's a pretty bold goal.
That's a bold statement.
And that's one that we had to really focus in and focus on. And I feel like my album could have dropped any point in history after this pandemic or during this pandemic. Like, the world actually needs that. So like that whole, if you have something to say thing applies during this time, especially because the people need something to hear and feel. Yeah. Not feel, because hearing comes from feeling. We need to feel it.
100%.
To make the difference.
We need some vibes.
We need some life. We need
some life.
We need some
life. Some fresh vibes,
Some high.
Some fresh squeezed vibes.
Happy birthday to Bogo.
Oh,
happy 21st birthday to Bogo.
Big day for the Stop Lookin co-founder.
After this podcast, we
more
about to get lit.
We about to get lit. To that, yeah.
More life, more everything.
Yo, and then last thing, how are we on time, by the way? Did you start?
We're fine. We're on 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
So then, last thing, I think it's worthy noting is you've dropped a few songs. You're starting to, I know you signed to Epic Records.
Yes.
And you're just starting now to, release your music with them and release your music videos and give the world a taste of who you are. Because, I know personally when you used to be working at the studio every single Friday, I would pull up pretty often, like 3-4 years ago, when you were just, transitioning into making your own music, rapping on your own beats, crafting your own sound and stuff. So it's crazy, from my perspective, to see it all coming to life, 3-4 years later. This was back when both of us were in high school. I might have been a freshman in college, just starting. Yeah, so it's really inspiring, at least for me, to see all your work coming to life and, coming up to the surface.
Because a lot of people think that, honestly, shit just, occurs. For 3 years, no one will talk to you, and then they'll just come up to you and be like, oh, my God, that's so cool. You did this, and that. But those 3 years when I was working on it every day, you didn't know. But now you know, because you see the final fruit.
Right, and
that's the seed watering every day. You didn't see or talk to
people aren't gonna believe it until after.
After.
So to that I say,
you gotta
appreciate that, bro, because we did meet when I was hella young, when I was just starting to produce and take internships with Epic and do different things to craft me into the artist I am today. Yeah, and it's been one hell of a journey, man.
Yeah, it's been crazy seeing you
and developing,
progress your sound, progress your, mature out of high school and, become, like a young man and shit.
Right.
It's like
we're so proud of you. We're so proud of you, Nas.
Nah, bro, because real shit, bro. When I met Nas, he was still he was probably a 10th grader.
Okay, he's younger than us, but it's just 2 years. I feel you. We see him as younger,
but
and at this point,
now
I get what you're saying.
Now he looks like he's 5 years older than me. He's 7 feet tall. But I'm just saying that he's really progressed his sound, and you've been very relentless to craft your sound, and you haven't stopped until you've gotten to that point.
You're pushing the envelope.
Right. No, we're like breaking the mailbox.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing.
I like that.
Yeah, you're smashing it, bro.
But what he's saying is the truth, because he met me when I was in the studio, just going like every single weekend of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally like of high school. And even after that, when I stopped high school, when I graduated high school, that is, I went to LA and I made my album. I made 15 songs in 10 days. And that became Beachbum Limbo.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in chronological order.
Okay.
And I co-produced it with my cousin Blessed, and we had something to say.
I'm really, I just gotta say, I'm really fucking excited to hear those songs, because I've seen the little teasers you put on your story.
Yeah.
I'm sure the songs you already have out are gonna be on that album, or no?
Yeah.
So I've heard some songs, I've heard some teasers, but I just can't wait to see
shit.
what's coming. Like,
Yeah.
the hard shit, the crazy shit.
Well, thank you, bro. It's coming in hot. It's definitely coming in hot, and people think all my on Instagram, I get to see who's a fan and then who's kind of like following what I'm doing and stuff, and they're all like, we're waiting on what you have to drop. Like, drop that shit. Like, they think I'm pulling a Cardi on them. Like,
Yeah.
And shouts out Cardi, because that's like my big bro. But like they think I'm pulling.
Made a verb out of Cardi.
Yeah,
They think I'm gonna Cardi him.
They think
I'm gonna Cardi them? No.
They think I'm at home thinking like, I'm really gonna Cardi them. Right?
We're coining that also. First Fit Montana, now we're gonna Cardi them.
Yeah, Fit Montana was a term we coined last episode with that kid Kia.
Yeah.
But that's for another story.
You guys have to check out episode 1 to hear that story.
Go check out episode 1 so you can
fuck.
the coins.
You will get the coining of the term. But yeah.
But yeah, I think this has been a very...
there's actually one more thing before we conclude. So 2 years ago, when Bogle and I had just started the brand and we had our first launch collection party in Wynwood in Miami, we had Nas come and do a small set.
Another legendary time.
That was legendary, and if you guys want to hear about that one, check out episode 1 of season 1. So now you guys got to check out episode 1 of season 2 and episode 1 of season 1.
So it's been a journey for both of us, because I think the past 2 years have been like 24 months, and not even 2 years. It's been over 2 years. It's been a little over.
Actually, today is my birthday, and that event was on my birthday. So it's actually been 2 years since we did that.
Bro,
that's a crazy 2 years ago. We were in Wynwood.
So imagine 2 years from now you're saying
exactly.
Yeah, that's fast.
That's wild.
So like, my point is, like,
I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm 19.
Yeah.
I was 18.
Quick math.
Now I'm 20.
Water,
21.
So what my point was that I think we've seen your progress through the past 2 years, which has been pretty insane. Your growth and like everything you've been able to accomplish and fine tune and perfect for yourself. And
this is just the beginning, boys.
And I think you've
girls.
been able to see like how much work we've put in the past 2 years. Yeah. When it went from that one night that we did our first ever thing, like little event, we had maybe like 100 people there at most.
Which we did sell out though.
Yeah.
To now we're moving up. We booked No MARCATO as an opener for a huge show that we were about to do before COVID hit. We can't announce too much yet, but you'll hear about that soon because it's still gonna happen.
Definitely hear about that soon.
Shout out Cactus Jack.
Yeah, shout out Don T. I'm not gonna say too much, but that show is still happening.
Says everything.
We will be having No MARCATO there, of course,
and so
in the bag.
The whole team will be present and going from me, crazy. Going from my piano teacher Antonina, which happens to be here with us today. Shout out
Antonina. We'll tag her Instagram right here.
And then yeah, we have a bunch of shit to be showing you that we're working on together. And we had an event 2 years ago, which marked one of their biggest debuts in Miami, which we all grew up in, and they even honored me with inviting me to perform there in front of all my people, and that was a day in which I received so much love.
That was honestly amazing. That was amazing.
I was so young. That was like one of my first songs.
Facts.
And you guys invited me to perform. Like, that's a true honor, and as well as my friends as well.
Yeah,
they felt
that was
the same
honestly
way.
great.
Yeah.
I really look back at that moment, look back at the footage that we have that's going to be featured on our new website and that we have on our Instagram if you scroll all the way down. And I just look back at that and I'm just so happy that went the way it went. Like,
Right.
we had the beautiful live performance, we had the beautiful like
love was there.
Yeah.
Love was present.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even when I was up performing,
vibes were there.
People gave me hugs.
The vibe
I
was
don't
there.
hug like strangers like that, or like, you know what I mean. But like, it was love. Like, you know what I mean. Like, it'll always.
There
be
was
a
an
hug
energy
back.
in that area.
Facts.
And we gotta just continue it, like you were saying. You know, how I was saying, extend the island or break the mailbox. You just gotta push way forward, past what people are even expecting.
Absolutely.
And something crazy I just remembered. I remember your dad reposted like a video of you performing at that thing, and he captioned it. This like just popped into my head. He captioned it. He's like, "Don't matter if there's 5 people or 1,000 people. He's still gonna turn up the same. Perform the same energy,
right?
Regardless." And it's like it's crazy because just 2 months ago you were about to perform in front of 1,200 people.
Yeah.
So it's just like
it was gonna be the same
2 years, like
as when I performed at that place in which
exactly.
Like
had like 50 people, maybe
50
less
people
or
New
less.
York. Like, we're in this small club in New York. Shout out.
Oh yeah, you did do that.
Par, shout out Jorge. Shout out Clive. I took a leave of absence, but I'm coming back.
Shout out NYU Stern also for giving me the business skills that I need to actually do this.
Yeah. No, that's what's up, man. We got a hell of a journey ahead of us.
NYU fam.
It's gonna be glorious. You know what I mean? We're all gonna fucking just break that same mailbox.
We're gonna be in the yacht in the 15 years, just chilling, thinking about how we came up and
submarine yacht, just going stupid.
Submarine yacht,
going crazy.
150-foot submarine yacht.
Just traveling at like negative 2,000 feet.
That's some hype shit.
Sea level.
Yes, it is. But yo, thank you for having me.
To wrap it up,
much for coming.
This was a huge vibe. I
seriously.
think. Fire, bro. I hope you enjoyed coming out to the podcast. This is episode 2 of season 2, where we converse, all organic, all nothing scripted. Everything is just built on the next idea, and we think that's the best way to have the most authentic conversation.
Absolutely.
You know, we don't.
100% agree.
We set very, very, general, broad guidelines. Little topics here and there that we wanted to cover, but for the most part, everything is just built on the next topic. I think we had a really good conversation. We got through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we
and
did.
you're gonna have to cut like half of that.
And we're gonna cut half of it. But that's
all
how
right,
you
thank
do
you
it.
so much.
Yeah, you already know. Yeah.
All right, bro.
That's the thumbnail right there.